Hello everybody and welcome back to the garden. Finally it's weekend here, so we can spend a day in a garden. Let's go. But before we do anything, we need some coffee. It's been the craziest week, maybe even 2 weeks at work. Not much time to do anything, but finally we have weekend. It's Sunday, early morning, it's around 8 o'clock. So I thought we're gonna do a day in a garden video. It's gonna be mostly vegetables, I think. So let's go and have a look what's happening. Okay, so let's have a look what we have on the agenda today. I don't know how much of all this stuff I'm gonna do today. It's only one day. It's Sunday, as I said before. So I think the main things I'm gonna be doing today, as I said in previous videos, this area on the edge of that bed and down there on that bed, that's gonna be planted. I have my beans germinated already, so that's going to be my succession planting. I think it's about time to replant some more beans because the main harvest is flowering already, so it won't be long. Also, that problem area, that's the old chicken run, has not been used for a while due to the fox activities. The chicken have their own secure area now, but I think I might plant some pumpkins in between that calendulas and probably sort out the outdoor tomatoes. I'm not hoping for much harvest from them, but we'll see. Yeah, but the main thing is planting out some pumpkins in this area. It's not being used for anything at the moment, and it should be crazy fertile with the chickens living there for a couple of years. So hopefully that's gonna work. What else can we do? Let's have a look in the main garden. I think I'm gonna bite the bullet today and remove all the alliums, all the onions and garlic. With the onion white rot, I don't think I'm gonna get any harvest from them anyway. So I can use the area, oops. So I can use the area to sow some probably beetroot and maybe cucumbers. Let's have a look at the alliums. Yeah, it's not a happy story. As you can see, there's few of them still struggling here on this side of the bed, but the whole other side is gone. There's no more onions. It's all been killed off by onion white rot. Same with this whole bed. I can see maybe 2 or 3 young onions still usable, but all the rest is done. So this area most likely gonna be planted with more cucumbers and more beetroot here and some lettuce and salad in between, I think. Also, the other day I finally lifted the nets on my broccolis. I'm gonna quickly put a clip of me doing that. I think that was 2 days ago. I got some harvest out of it as well, but that was only a minute job, very quick. So I'll show you that now. So this is how they look like at the moment. I just put those 2 hoops on both sides. Actually, I'm gonna put another one. The middle of the netting is a bit sagging, so just give me a sec and I'll be back with you in a moment. So I'm just using those PVC pipes. I don't know what they were initially used for. I inherited it with the house when I bought it, and they always come handy in a garden. So let me just quickly undo the netting. I don't want to leave it out for too long, just for the white cabbage butterflies. I lost my crop to the white cabbage butterflies too many times in the past. I don't want to risk it too much. Easier said than done. Okay, just push it in and try to bend it. So that should hold it now. But let me show you my dinner for today. So here we are. This is my broccoli plants. And this is the harvest. It's not all of them. It's only 3 or 4 of them. It's not big heads as well. Maybe I'm gonna harvest 1 or 2 only and leave all the rest to grow. I'll see how big they're gonna grow. I was just worried they're gonna flower and blow. As you can see, some of the flowers are getting loose already. So I thought it's better to harvest them. But if you look closely over there at the junction of the leaf and the main stem, there's more heads growing. They're gonna be much smaller than the main one. But I guess I can harvest all the main broccoli heads and let the small one grow for the second flush. So it is a very easy process. I got my knife, that's the head, and I try to cut it not too much, just like that. All these leaves and stem is perfectly eatable. It's actually delicious. But what I'm trying to do here is leave enough space for the leaves. As you can see in all the junctions, well, hopefully we're gonna get more broccoli heads. So that's one of them. There is a second one. And now just quickly cover it back with the nettings before the cabbage white butterflies sense there's a food here. I'm using this Enviromesh. I find it much more stronger, really long lasting than the normal fleece. It's slightly more expensive than the fleece, but it lasts much longer. I'm using this net for at least 3 years, maybe longer, and it's still perfectly fine. There's slight holes over there, but just make sure when you're putting your nets back on the plant, you are quite precise with all the edges, because over the years I've noticed that the cabbage white butterfly, for whatever reason, can find a space, the smallest gap, to get inside the net. And with the holes like that, I have a hole the size of my finger. I could probably sew it, but you might just use a leaf, plug it in, so nothing can get in. So that's gonna be my dinner today. Well, not all of it. I have some cucumbers for the salad. I got few baby carrots. They are really small yet. And I have my new potatoes with dill. That's all gonna get fried with onions and garlic on a lovely butter. So I'm gonna have a nice dinner tonight. And let's have a look quickly in the greenhouse and around the greenhouse what's happening. All the potatoes after harvesting and replanting for late crop are germinating now, so they don't need any attention at the moment, just watering. Those are the beans I was talking about. This is all germinated and growing well, so they can go in the ground. Also here in the corner I have some lettuce seedlings, so that's gonna get planted out as well. But now let's have a look what's happening in my greenhouse jungle. So as you can see, the grapes are growing like crazy. That makes me happy, but they don't need any attention at the moment. The cucumbers, the gherkins, on the other hand, are happily growing down as I expected them to do. But I've noticed when they get all the way down to my sweet peppers, they are grabbing to the sweet peppers. So I'm not quite sure what to do about it. I might try to grow them up again before they strangle all my sweet peppers. And the usual weekly job with the tomatoes. I left them for 2 weeks after the last tying up. So this is the last spot I was working. That's how much they grow in 2 weeks. So all the tomatoes need sorting out as well. Okay, so that's the plan for today. The sowing and planting for second crop, for crop rotation. I might do some weeding in places as and when needed. But first of all, let me get some eggs from the chickens and have a breakfast. See you in a bit. Looks like the chickens are on strike today. Only one egg. Better something than nothing. Looks like the chickens are on strike today. Only one egg so far. They're probably gonna lay one or two more later on. It's still early. But yeah, as I said, I'm gonna have my breakfast now and I'll see you back in the garden in a bit. Okay, so first of all, I need to prepare this area. I have 4 zucchini courgette plants growing in this bed, so they're gonna get quite large. But I think here at the edge, I can squeeze in some plants. It doesn't need much preparation. This bed, it has been growing, what was it here? Broad beans that have been harvested a few weeks ago. So only just quick weeding. This thing useless, supposed to be scaring off the foxes. It doesn't, so that can go. Waste of money. So as I said, I was having broad beans here before. They've all been harvested. The only problem I can foresee in this bed is the mole. It's digging all over the garden. It doesn't seem like it's damaging or killing any of the established plants, but it might be a different story with the seedlings. We'll see. There's nothing I can do about it. Let me just quickly show you what it's doing to my lawn. So this is all new molehills all over the lawn. They just pop out almost on a daily basis, no matter how much of this soil I collect. There's more and more coming. It's all started from here. As you can see, the grass died. It was digging too much under the roots. That's all gonna regrow anyway. But yeah, that's what I'm dealing with at the moment. I have some mole activity in the veggie bed itself. Not sure if the camera gonna pick it up, but that's the mole here next to the sunflower. There's 2 more here, one and the other one. That thing over there is another one of the useless gadgets. That's supposed to be scaring off the moles. It's making these annoying beeping sounds every now and again. I turned it off now. It doesn't work anyway. As you can see, there's a mole here just next to it. But anyway, let's get back to gardening. So as I was saying, this area doesn't need much work. I'm probably not even gonna rake it. Just remove the biggest weeds. I left all the broad bean roots in the soil. They can decompose in situ. That's gonna help with the nitrogen in the bed. And yeah, I think that's all there is to it. Just a couple of weeds and we are done and ready for more planting. Those poppies can go as well. They finished flowering. And now just a quick rake to level it up so it's easier to plant or sow the seeds. I still haven't decided yet what I'm gonna plant here. What's your ideas? What should I plant here? Okay, so I think that looks level enough. I just need to decide what to plant here. It's a bit of a shady area with the hedge and the huge willow behind you. So I think that might be a good spot for some beetroot and lettuce. So let me do that. So as I said, that area gonna be some beetroot and lettuce. This is all my saved seeds for the lettuce I've been using all this time. It's working perfectly well. And I got some shop bought beetroot from real seeds. They are organic seeds. I've been using them for a couple of years already. There's not much left. So they're gonna go here as well. I have a patch of beetroot growing in the main veggie area, but it's not that much. So a little bit more here should be just enough for me. So let's do some sowing. So first of all, like with any other sowing, I'm just gonna make some drills for the beetroot seeds. Here in this more exposed area is getting more sun, and I'm gonna sow the lettuce on the edge of the bed. It's much more shady, so hopefully the lettuce won't bolt as quick as it usually does. So let's do some sowing. It's nothing fancy really, just some line in the dirt, and that's it. So those are the beetroot seeds. They are quite large. You can sow them initially. You usually get 1 or 2 beetroot from each seed. They are cluster of seeds actually, but I think I'm just gonna use the whole packet of the seeds. There's not that many of them left really. I need to reorder more or try to save my own seeds again this year. As you can see, this area is next to the wildlife pond as well, so it's quite moist, shady, perfect spot for the slugs. So I think the more I sow the better, because I'm bound to lose quite a few to slugs and snails. And after sprinkling the seeds, just cover it gently and hope for the best. So that's the beetroot done. Let's do some lettuce. And it's exactly the same story with the lettuce. I just need to remove this poppies. They finished flowering already. And some crazy weed that's going to go on the compost. But it's the same story. Just make a drill, sprinkle some seed, cover with the soil, and hope that it's going to germinate. As you can see, this end of the bed is much more shady corner compared to the other side. It's not a big bed, maybe 3 by 3 meters. Weird shape, it's not square, it's more like a oval shape type thing. But this area is always in the shade from the acer tree on one side, the hedge on the other side, and the huge willow tree on that side. So fingers crossed, the lettuce after germination won't bolt as quickly. I'm sprinkling quite a lot here. This is home saved seeds, so there's plenty of chaff in it. The lettuce seeds are tiny. I can't be bothered picking them up from the chaff after drying the seeds. But that's all right. I can treat it as a cut and come again salad I don't need full heads of lettuce, I just need some leaves. And yeah, after sprinkling the seeds, just cover it slightly. There's a ladybird, you can go here. And this bed is done. The second flush of beetroot for the autumn and the continuation of lettuce. Fingers crossed it's all gonna work. We are still in June, at the end of the June, so should be plenty enough time for the beetroot to grow. But yeah, that bed is done. Next one gonna be the one behind you. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna plant over there yet, but first I need a break. Oh, what a crazy day it turned out to be. It's already, well, it's almost 4 p.m. and I haven't done anything in the garden except that sowing I showed you first thing in the morning. Well, as they say, the best laid plans of mice and men. But I'm back in the garden and I decided at least I can plant some pumpkins in the old chicken run area. It's a very fertile soil over there, so that should be very good for the pumpkins. The chickens were living there for almost, well, 8-9 years, I think. So it should be very, very rich. The pumpkin's gonna enjoy it. The only thing gonna be watering them, but I can do that like with any other plants. So yeah, we're gonna plant some pumpkins. At least that's gonna be a one tick of my tick list. It didn't turn out to be that much today, but anyway, let me show you how the area looks like at the moment before we plant the pumpkins. Let's go. So this is the old chicken run. It hasn't been used for a few months already, and it's getting taken over by all the calendula and mint. I have no idea how the mint got here, but there's plenty of it. So yeah, that's the area I'm gonna be planting my pumpkins. It's not that big, maybe 2 by 4 meters. I'm gonna plant the pumpkins. I have 4 of them randomly in that space in between the calendula. I'm not gonna dig it out. The calendula can stay and hopefully the pumpkin gonna grow through it. There's not much else here. There's 4 of my outdoor tomatoes need attention. I need to remove all the suckers and stuff. But yeah, the pumpkins first, and then we'll see how much time we have for anything else. So let's do some planting. So let me start with the pumpkin planting. I need a hole to put the plant in. The whole idea is for the pumpkins to hopefully smother all the weeds and other plants in this area. I don't have much time at the moment to take care of this space. As long as the chickens were here, they were eating anything green, so there was no problem with weeds. But now when the chickens are locked up in the other area just behind you, I need something to deal with the weeds, and I need time to decide what I'm gonna do with this area altogether. I don't think the chicken's gonna come back here. It's not that safe anymore. For whatever reason, we're getting plenty of foxes in the area. So it's safer for the chickens to stay in the Alcatraz. So yeah, as I said, dig a hole. It's a nice plant, nice root system, quite sturdy plant. Plunk it in, cover it with a little bit of soil, and cross your fingers that slugs won't find it. All these plants gonna get really good soaking later on after I plant them. So that's the first one. I have 3 more to go. This is all layers and layers of chicken manure. I can show you close up. It's all well decomposed already. Don't know if the camera is picking it up, but it's all like layers of stuff. But I think if the calendula and mint can grow here, the pumpkin is going to be fine as well. Oh my god, there's mole tunnels under here as well. Everywhere, moles. So hopefully they're not going to destroy this patch. Same with this one. Nice root system, it's not root bound at all. Nice sturdy plant. Let's hope it's gonna stay like that. And last but not least, the fourth plant gonna go here. This soil is so crazy compacted after years of chicken use, but hopefully the pumpkin roots can break through it. If other plants can grow, I don't see any reason why the pumpkin wouldn't. But we'll see. And that's the pumpkin done. While planting that one over there, I've noticed something funny. Just to the left of it, that is a peach seedling. I must have been throwing the peaches for the chickens. One of the seeds, obviously, germinated. That's how easy it is to grow peaches from seeds. You don't really need to do anything. As long as they stay outside over winter, they do germinate following spring. Okay, so let's tackle this onion wide rod bed. I think I'm just gonna remove all the onions, whatever is still edible, gonna get processed, probably frozen, and I can replant more of my beans in that area. But first, let's remove all the dill. I can dry it at home and reuse it for my pickling. Well, that was supposed to be density 4. That's the most affected onion. I don't think it likes the onion wide rod. None of them do, but that one was the most susceptible. But at least I'm getting some dill for pickling later on. I have plenty of more dill growing all over the place really, so I don't need it here. Whoops. Well, instead of the onion harvest, I got plenty of dill harvest. I don't think I'm gonna need all of it this year, but I'm gonna dry it out anyway. Probably gonna hang it in the workshop to dry. I'll see, but that's gonna be used, at least part of it, for the pickling later on in the season. So let me put it aside. And now I just need to remove my failed crop of onion. It's really annoying because I had a bumper crop last year. I still have some onions frozen, but you win or you lose, you never know. Such a sorry view. Look at this bunch. It's all getting rotten, squishy, soft. So this is my pitiful harvest from that bed. What is it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 onions, small one. That's gonna go for salads and stuff. This is all still usable, but all the rest, sadly, it's all rotten. Okay, so that's the setup now. It looks much better after a little bit of weeding and raking. So let me get my beans and we can get to planting. So those are the beans I'm going to be planting. I need to check on the previous video. I'm going to put a link somewhere here. Which one are those in the red pots? But yeah, they look quite nice and sturdy. It's a good looking plants. There's 2 of them. Most of them have 2 plants, I think, per pot. You can see the roots already are coming out of the pot, so they should have nice developed root system ready to go. So like with the pumpkins, make a hole, put the plant in, cover and water. Usual tactics, but first let me space them in this bed. We'll see how much I can fit it in. So that should do it. So let's get into planting. You can come a bit closer for a better view. It's a very straightforward job. As I said, make a hole, I'm using hori knife, but I should be really using a trowel. It's easier. As I said, make a hole, put the plant in, and once done. And try to avoid the wasps. They're all gonna get a good watering after I plant them all. It's always important to water your plants after transplanting, especially now in the summer. We're getting quite hot. Well, I think that's all the time I'm gonna have for you today. It didn't work out exactly as I planned, but at least I got some tiny onion harvest. Not nearly as much I was expecting, but that's always something. There's still some more growing over there in the next bed, but that's not much as well. And unexpectedly, a dill harvest. That's going to be useful for my picnic in a month or two when the gherkins are ready. So that bunch gonna get tied up and hung upside down in the workshop over there until it's dry, and then I can use it for pickling. So yeah, as I said, it's not exactly to plan today, but anyway, at least I did some jobs that I wanted. The pumpkins are planted, and the crop rotation with the beans, beetroot and lettuce has started as well. I have two more beds to sort out as well, and there's plenty of weeding as well, but that's for another day and for another video. But anyway, thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you back soon. Bye.